They must have gotten lost in the time vortex. Well, I'm back now and... Stepney?
Well, hello, old friend. I haven't seen you in 17 months.
I'm sorry I left you behind. I didn't realize you'd get stuck. How's it been the past 17 months?
It's actually been pretty decent. I still had the internet and all those DVDs to keep myself occupied.
Entertained, but you were still alone. You went through the hell I dodged by way of a cheap sacrifice that you didn't deserve.
Thomas, even when I showed you what we were going to do, I knew I probably wouldn't make it through with you, but I was very happy to let myself remain here for all eternity if need be, so long as you got home. You're my friend.
Thank you. Oh, and now that the year is correct, most of my collection has returned to its rightful place. The only things missing are Monique and the customs. Oh well, pretty close. I don't have any of the screwdrivers left, and just yours can't open the portal the same way. I guess if there's only 6 months left, and not 2 years, I should live and endure through the rest of this.
No, Thomas, I've used the screwdriver while you were gone an uncountable number of times, and it showed me a few things about that time bubble. You can't ever live through time naturally to escape it. On the other side of that portal, time is still moving normally, so the temporal delay between the bubble and the actual universe just keeps widening. You weren't there in the real universe for 3 weeks, so now the bubble creates a copy of those weeks. And you'll see them when you get to Christmas. Essentially, the bubble is like a treadmill. If you just try to live back through time to the date you left, time will still be moving on the other side at the same rate. So there will be 2 more years you have to fulfill, and you'll never get any closer to the exit. The bubble is inescapable that way. The only thing you can do is what you do and I just did. Send you into a future part of the bubble, because in real time, it has only been 23 days and a few hours. You skip to the latter part of the bubble, but there's still a constant 6-month gap between you and the real universe. The only way to escape is through time travel.
Well, if you lived through the past 17 months, shouldn't time have been passing too? There should still be a 2-year gap on the other side.
No, you created the time bubble, so its position converges on your perception. You travel to a point where there is only 6 months left, so on the other side there's only 6 months.
Wow. Quite complicated. But even with all that knowledge, I can't get any closer to home. Even if me and the real universe were only out of sync by a millisecond, I would still be trapped here, alone, forever.
Well, Thomas, you'll have me here to help you through it.
No.
No?
It was selfish of me to bring you here. And this one Sonic can't send me back to the future. But you...
No, Thomas!
I can put you back into real time. You can tell my family what happened to me. Tell them I miss them. You can have some company other than me.
I'm not gonna leave you here.
I left you behind for 17 months. You deserve better.
I knew what I was doing. I did it for you. I was ready for whatever happened. I'm not gonna cheapen out on you. And I'm not letting you make this unfixable mistake either. We need each other, here. Even if it's forever.
All right. What should we do?
I know just the thing that'll cheer you up. Do you know what day it is?
June 9th?
Come on, Thomas, you remember that day.
Oh, you don't mean...
Yep.
Keycrate 24's face reveal live stream? Let's go!
I didn't have a good fashion. So, because I thought stuff matched, And now you do? Like, no,
I still don't.
See. I can't give him the whole apple because he'll choke, so we'll see. Can you catch, buddy?
Look at that cute face.
Aw.
Watson, give me paw. Paw. You are fixated.
Seems in order, said the foreman grudgingly, but it's queer. Sure, and it is, began the guard, but I could tell you queer. So could I. I can't get over this. So could I, interrupted the foreman.
This didn't make it into the TV series.
For obvious reasons.
It will not be a boring day.
Almost symmetrical. Our torsos are the same height.
Ooh, Monique. This is the auction the guys threw. I won Monique last time because nobody else wanted her. They got a special bullet train, gave it a name, and I won it.
Well, you know, history repeats itself.
Good point. This may take a while. You know, Stepney, can you help me shoot a review of her?
Certainly, Thomas.
Hello to all of you, Thomasthesmallengine here with a review on an OC engine that I adopted from some nice fellows. This engine is from the Brio brand, and it was a special edition released in the year 2015, the year when everything in train history was perfect. Brio's special edition trains were yearly releases that seem to have started in 2013 and continued to at least 2017. And at the time of this video's production, there is no 2018 special edition model. Now back to this model. As far as its quality compared to the other wooden railway models, there's a lot of nice shaping here, though quite a lot of it is achieved through plastic. In fact, the only wooden parts on this front piece are the cab and the bogies. I honestly couldn't care less, as this doesn't drag down the item's value. This isn't intended to be a characterized model, as its detail and dating are there for the sole purpose of making this toy feel more like a real-life train, but I don't think that places it outside of the Thomas universe. After all, City of Truro didn't have a face in Season 3, and he could still talk. So, even with that weird magnet nose, this engine could still talk given the imagination. To give my own feelings on the Brio aspects of this model, I never understood why Brio and so many other brands have these thin wheels with magnets on the side. I mean, what's the point of having a magnet on that side of the wheels? Nobody's ever going to couple up a train that way. So why do it? On every model, no less. Fun fact, if you look at the prototype pictures for the 22-piece starter set, both the prototype Thomas and the prototype Gray Troublesome Truck have red wheels that are similar to the common Brio ones. So if Roy Wilson was using those wheels for his hand-carved prototypes, does that mean these are cheaper or maybe easier to make? Who knows? An interesting thing on the bottle of this model is that the two bogies are connected by hooks. You can see right there. They're cleverly placed so that you can't rotate the model on its bogies, as these are only attached through pivoting, but you can't move the hooks so that they detach from each other. It was a better solution than rickety. The last thing I'll talk about with the model itself is the tender. Not much to say, as it's made out of wood, has painted on coal, and the logo makes me wonder if perhaps it's a symbol of a real railway somewhere, or if it's the Brio Railway, or something. But the strange thing about the tender is that it looks backwards. In Spencer's TV series model, the higher end of the tender is close to the engine. And now, whenever I reattach the tender to the engine, I keep trying to couple them the wrong way. I don't know if the rise is supposed to represent the water tank or not, but it confuses me. At the end of it all, this model is quite nice looking. Even if it's a lot of plastic for an engine, it comes off as very sleek, and it's still finely detailed, and a nice item to pick up. My particular one has been given an OC identity. I wanted at an auction Sidekickjason, Keycray 24, and Enterprising Engine 93 created as a charity for Toys for Tots. And in a live stream they hosted during it all, they named this engine Monique. I won her for fairly cheap, and I would like to give a big thank you to these guys for the item, and the nice picture that came with it. So, thank you to TWR, Soul, and Jay Walker. Oh no.